Yeah, welcome to Queen's Desk. Today, I want to talk about who a notary public is. Ever since my swearing in as a notary public of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, I have been coming across different kind of questions like, who is a notary public? Some people even ask if I now have an office in Abuja. Some people think it is an appointment, maybe a federal appointment, while there have been diverse questions that people has asked me at one time or the other. And I feel it will be good for me to explain who a notary public is so as to clarify doubts and to educate more on the duties of a notary public. So, to the question on ground, who is a notary public? A notary public is a legal practitioner, that is, a lawyer, who is a fit and proper person and has fulfilled all the necessary legal requirements and is appointed by the Chief Justice of Nigeria as a notary public or into the office of a notary public. I'll try to break it down. I'll try to explain it. Persons who are admitted or appointed to be notary public in Nigeria, they are, first of all, fit and proper persons who are legal practitioners, that is, lawyers in Nigeria. And upon application of such person, the person has to apply and fulfill some necessary legal requirements before this position, this office as it is granted by the Chief Justice of Nigeria. And such a legal practitioner begins to operate or comes into the office of a notary public. I hope I've been able to give a little explanation. Now we have to go to what are the duties or functions. How is a notary public different from any other lawyer? What are their duties? What are their functions? What do they do? Yes, by virtue of the Notaries Public Act 2023, Section 2 of the Act tells us about the duties and the functions of a notary public in Nigeria. One of their functions, one of their duties is witnessing and executing a legal document, both local and international documents, such as sale and purchase agreements, transfer of land agreements, deeds, assignment of intellectual property agreements, power of attorney, mortgages, company resolutions, minutes of meetings, reports, among others. It is the duty of a notary public to witness such documents, to witness the execution, to witness the signing of any of the documents I have mentioned above. Also, another duty of a notary public is that a notary public can prepare letters of good standing for anybody that needs letters of good standing. The best person to approach is a notary public. Also, a notary public is empowered by law to prepare notarial certificate of law. Equally, a notary public is empowered to administer oaths for the purpose of giving evidence in courts or tribunal. This is what I mean. Where a witness is to give his testimony, is to give his own side of the story in a court or in a tribunal, he has to put those stories, which we call evidence, down in writing. those stories will become evidence when it is sworn before a notary public as is evidence, and it will now be useful in court. So, in a nutshell, it is the duty of a notary public to administer oaths for giving evidence in courts or tribunal. We can also see the same functions in the registry of courts. You have a commissioner for oaths at the registry of either the high courts, the magistrate courts, the court of appeal, national industrial court. There is a registry where legal documents are filed, and some aspect of it is required to be sworn as the witness oath. So the same function that the commissioner of oath can perform in terms of a witness swearing to his oath is also the function of a notary public to administer oaths for the purpose of giving evidence in any court of law or tribunal in Nigeria. Another function of a notary public is that he is empowered to take and prepare affidavits, depositions, and declarations. So, next time you want to prepare an affidavit, you want to swear to an affidavit, you want to depose to an affidavit, you can also approach, aside from going to the courts, you can approach a notary public who will administer the oath on your affidavit for you and equally sign it and execute it properly for you without you going to court. Another function of a notary public is that he is empowered to obtain authentication from ministry responsible for foreign affairs. There are some documentations that some persons who wants to use it outside the country requires to authenticate, and so you could approach a notary public to authenticate those documents by making necessary inquiry at the ministry responsible for foreign affairs. It is also the duty of a notary public to verify company documents. If you have reasons to verify some company documents, you could approach a notary public. It is part of his duty as spelled out in the Notaries Public Act 2023. Also, a notary public is empowered to verify identity and signature. Another function of a notary public is that he can perform digital notarization through electronic means. By virtue of this act, it has empowered a notary public not only to physically notarize documents, it will also perform digital notarization via electronic means. The procedures and the steps to be followed is contained in the Notary Public Act. Also, it is the duty of a notary public to take note or certify transactions relating to bills of exchange and other negotiable instruments. So these are some of the functions and duties of a notary public in Nigeria. There are diverse documents that a notary public can certify or is required to administer oath for, or that he deals with. There are some documents of some persons who wants to travel abroad, some persons who needs to fill some form. There are some parts of it that requires authentication from a notary public. There is also there are some guarantors form that also required to be signed before a notary public. There are several documents that comes before a notary public, and Section 7 of the Notary Public Act 2023 itemizes some of these documents. You have birth certificates, your school certificates, police clearance certificates, biodata page of your international passport, marriage certificates, driver's license, foreign documents required to be notarized in Nigeria, affidavits, and a lot more. These are some of the functions, duties of a notary public in Nigeria. Thank you for listening. See you next time.